PPLittle.com. Hi, I'm PP Little, the anti-woke warrior. And fellas, it's tough out there. All over the country, manly mans like us, all like me, can't get girlfriend, no matter how many times we point out the objective flaws in The Last Jedi. Trust me, I've been trying for 6 years. But fear not, your humble PP is here to give you my top 5 alpha movies for manly mans. Number 5, Snow White, the 1937 version. This movie has beautiful songs and animations. It captures the imagination of all who see it, even now, almost 100 years after its release. It also presents us an idyllic world where everyone you see is white, and all the betas are sent to the forest where they belong. However, the most alpha part of this movie is Prince PP Charming, with who I identify with greatly and can kiss any girl he likes, even if she's sleeping. Number 4, Clerks. This classic black and white film has stood the test of time, from back when big anime titties were few and far between, and waifu body pillows were beyond oceans. Before feminism and black mermaids, men were men. They worked manly jobs, like rental store clerk or convenience store clerk. All a man had to do was complain about movies and comics, and they would get girlfriends. Nowadays, women expect you to have goals and hobbies and smell good and respect their boundaries. Gone are the days where you could call up the boys for a donkey show.
I'm disgusted and repulsed and I can't look away.
Number 5, Forrest Gump. Jenny, goddammit! Why didn't you listen? Why didn't you stay with the little guy who couldn't read? Why did you get infected with the woke mind virus? Let this be a reminder, ladies, that when you ignore the nice conservative boy, you get AIDS. You get AIDS and you die. Sorry, guys. It's just that this movie gets me very emotional every time I think about it. This movie proves that in real life, all woke people are evil hypocrites, not like me, who is very accepting of others. Get out of here! I'm not racist. I watch Godzilla -1. Speaking of... Number 2, Godzilla -1. This movie is destroying Hollywood. The people are sick and tired of having politics crammed into their entertainment by manipulative assholes pushing an agenda. This movie is a conservative masterpiece. It's about a bunch of top G's who are World War II vets banding together to bring down Godzilla. The big twist is that they were Japanese all along. Despite that, this movie is as American as it comes. It shows men being strong and stoic and women depending on them financially. These men are warriors who will do anything to defeat their enemy, no matter the cost to themselves or the people around them. I'm talking shoot first, ask questions later. Or at least that's what I think the movie's about. I don't really watch movies. I watch Nerdrotic summarize them in full while he feeds me my opinion. That's how you hurt Brie Larson. Before I get to number 1, some honorable mentions. Boondock Saints. This movie makes me want to be a better man. 500 Days of Summer. Summer should hang for what she did. A Walk to Remember. If all else fail, look among the sick and desperate. All the times that Sean Connery slapped a woman. You get her, Dad. And finally, the most relatable movie of all time, Never Been Kissed. Number 1, Fight Club. This is my favoriteest movie of all time because it's about how materialism is destroying masculinity and also about how we should all start fight clubs. This movie shows us a relatable story about a guy who feels very afraid of girls but wants them so bad. So bad. Oh my God, so bad. This movie shows us how important it is to destroy things and be violent instead of telling people what we feel. Keep those feelings bottled up, fellas. That's the Project Mayhem way. I really like how this movie ends with a very romantic scene where a guy destroys an entire city just to hold a girl's hand. It shows the dedication and loyalty that women often reject and mistake as creepy and weird. If Martha Singer had just read the protagonist's mind and had sex with him in the first place, no one would have gotten hurt. It's that simple. Communication is gay. You know what isn't gay? Rolling around a creepy basement shirtless with other mans, beating each other off, up. This is how you beat socialism and gay thoughts. So that's my list, ladies. These are the movies that shaped me as a man, a real man, a man's man. I'm so manly, you already want to make me a sandwich. I bet you never heard of these movies. They're so obscure. Date me, and I'll show you them, and then we'll get married, just like the good Lord wants. Hit like and subscribe and say hi in the comments. PP little out.
Term woke, because I hear woke, it's like just a term that use half the people can't even define it. They don't know what it is.
It was, if anything, it was entertaining. I always found it entertaining.
Exactly. It's not so entertaining now that it all came true.
No.
Uh-oh, I waited too long to piss. It's already started. Oh, my God, Jesus Christ.
Everybody knows your name is Matt.
Do you always dox your former customers like this?
When they're not my customers anymore, I no longer care.
God, that's crazy.
and I think it did a damn good job for being what it needed to be for Star Wars. I love The Last Jedi. I love The Last Jedi.
Grifting is stupid.
Truth is out.
Not to sound like a dick, but I just don't care. I mean, there's 400 people watching this stream. If one of them knows my name now that didn't know it before, it's a success for me. At the end of the day, I have tried to build Geeks and Gamers by doing it the structured way, the methodical way, the think it out, prep it, take notes, think about everything you're going to say, and it fucking failed miserably on me. The day that I started doing what I'm doing right now, which is what you're, having a problem with, is the day that I started becoming successful.
This guy is a grifter.
The reason you aren't taken seriously is because of your behavior in situations that pertain to Star Wars from top to bottom. Now, look, I don't love everything Star Wars. I'm not a big fan of Rebels. I didn't like Rogue One that much. But do I constantly whine and bitch and complain about it?
But of course, Diego Luna has the diversity aspect.
No, I don't cool. There's people that love Rebels. There's people that love Rogue One. And that's awesome. That is continuing to enhance the universe and bring more people into the fold.
The flashback scenes are so stupid.
I don't love everything Star Wars, but if I don't like it, I complain about it for a few days, and then I just move on with my fucking life.
And they're pushing identity politics with this. They 100% are. You can't keep getting away with it.
I don't understand this need to continue to bitch and whine and moan.
This is the only reason Diego Luna is the lead character of this series, because they're trying to push their diversity bullshit.
Bitch and whine and moan.
He can't keep getting away with it.
Now the Fandom Menace manufactures content for clickbait. Before Rings of Power, House of the Dragon is woke. It hates white people and men, will fail, etc. Racist, sexist clickbait. So right here, woke disaster. Showrunner race-swapped characters because there's too many white people, which is not what was said, but, House of the Dragon hates men. And then, the quartering with his lowest common denominator of these guys, which is pretty fucking sad. They're all really lowest common denominator, but the quartering is just the laziest woke trash incoming.
These guys are hanging out in the anti-woke house. This quartering is pissing in that basement of that house, basically.
Yep. So then after Rings of Power, which, of course, is way more of a woke gold mine for them, right? And credit where it's due, I guess, but they're good at this as far as knowing what the thing is they should lean into, right? After Rings of Power debuted, which is a week or two after, I guess, House of the Dragon, and obviously these are two mega popular shows that are going to be talked about in the discourse and in, most importantly to these guys, in the trending tab, in the algorithms, and by changing their opinions and changing the thing that they're for to be, or against to being for it against the other thing, now they can have both of them in their titles. They can have both of them in their thumbnails. They can have them both in their keywords, so in the algorithm. And then they also get the conflict that they need, that they thrive on, right? They have to have conflict. They must. And so it became House of the Dragon destroys Rings of Power, and then they're praising House of the Dragon. No more mention of House of the Dragon being woke. No more mention of any of this stuff up here just a couple of weeks or a month before. No, now it's they just got wrecked. Rings of Power ratings are terrible. Amazon right, it's not true. But Amazon gets destroyed by House of the Dragon. And then here the quartering. Look, these are all the same guys, too. I'm not just showing you random examples. So these are the exact same dudes. House of the Dragon destroys Rings of Power in the ratings by the quartering. Then Ryan Kennel tweeting how he liked it. And I'll admit, he did say here, he really thought he was going to hate the series, but he's loving it so far. And then, so that's actually rare praise. But let's think about the fact that would he have said that if he wasn't trying to shit on Lord of the Rings?
Exactly. Would he have said that if Lord of the Rings didn't exist at this point? Probably not.
Yeah. Nerd had responded, best episode so far. Here's a Geeks and Gamers title. Woke disaster for Amazon, destroyed by House of the Dragon. it's crazy, man. The main thing that I think is important is it's not like people aren't allowed to change their minds, right? Like if you think something's going to be bad and then it's not, and you're like, oh shit, I was wrong. Like Ryan Kennel says there, but do you think that they go back and like, I don't know, hide those videos where they talked black people existing, you know, in House of the Dragon? No, they don't change any of that. All that content is still fucking up in theory forever. It's still out there poisoning fucking people's brains with sexism and racism and every other ism, right? And it would be one thing if they were like, okay, you know what? I thought it was going to be woke and terrible, but it's not. Let me, I don't know, private those videos, unlist them, because that's the responsible thing to do. But I mean, they can't possibly do that because they're going to get ad revenue from those in perpetuity.
The reason people like in the West are starting to draw more and more towards Korean or Japanese filmmaking, it's precisely because it's a bit different from what we get.
Yeah, what is the most recent Japanese film, or at least entertainment, that you enjoyed so far?
So he asked him, what is the most recent Japanese film that he's enjoyed? Because he just said everybody in America, they're flocking to Japanese and Korean movies, right? Because American movies are so woke and bad. All right, give us, the most recent Japanese movie that you thought was so much better than American films.
What am I thinking of? See, a lot of them would be older ones, like Old Boy, for example. I really enjoyed that one. I know it's not Japanese, but yeah, probably stuff like that. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, I really like that. I know it's like Chinese, I think. But yeah, like
it's just sad, man. Like, I really wish that Eric July would just have the confidence in his character, in the Rippaverse, to just sell it, man. Just sell it on its own merits. Why do you have to disparage other shit to boost yourself?
Have a million spider folk, which doesn't even make sense when you consider Peter's origin.
I define everybody that's not Peter Parker as an unoriginal Peter Parker.
Talking about Peter Darker.
Fun fact: Eric used to like the character, even saying he's more than just a black Peter Parker, but he changed his tune when he found out he could make more money pandering to racist comic book fans who hate Miles Morales.
You're just actively making shit up, ha ha ha.
Did you used to like him? Not judging or whatever. Just curious.
No.
You sure about that? Do you like Miles Morales then?
No.
You sure about that?
Yeah, some characters have been written decently that are of different races and have suited up in the suit of a hero or a version of that hero. One of the more obvious is Miles Morales as Spider-Man.
You're just actively making shit up, ha ha ha.
Miles Morales has his own background. This is far better than just simply making Peter Parker a black guy.
Talking about Peter Darker.
But Miles is an exception, make no mistake.
I define everybody that's not Peter Parker as an unoriginal Peter Parker.
And it will always be preferable to have another character with his own unique skill set, unique art. This is far better than just simply making Peter Parker a black guy.
I don't understand it.
Why is he doing what he's doing?
As far as what? Give me a specific
anything. Give me, pick your own example and give it to me.
I'm not giving you anything.
Give me an example.
I'll tell you what. If you
I'll give you an example. You've read Amazing Fantasy number 15, right?
Let's talk about. Go back to ISOM. What about it? Are you asking? What specific?
Wait. You've read Amazing Fantasy number 15, right?
What specific action are you asking pertaining? No, I'm gonna get stuck on this one. You've read Amazing Fantasy number 15, right? Are you what? Let's talk about ISOM. You just asked me a question. Let's keep moving and go.
There are plenty of people that don't know who Spider-Man is, dipshit.
Suffering Steve Ditko! How can you not know that Spider-Man first appeared in 1962's classic Amazing Fantasy number 50?
Stupidity is when you speak on things aggressively and you knowingly are ignorant on it. When they continue to do this goofy stuff because they're out of ideas and they're hiring people that probably shouldn't be in these positions.
So he says they're hiring people that shouldn't be in these positions at all. Let's take a look at that.
Stupidity is when you speak on things aggressively and you knowingly are ignorant on it.
Legacy characters
What is
are
a
a
new,
comic
what do you
book
mean by
tradition.
new legacy character? What do you mean new legacy character? Are
You
you talking
understand-
about
you-
knockoff versions? Is that what you're referring to?
Okay, so you understand what a legacy character is, right?
Yes, I'm asking you for clarification. Can you answer what the question I just had?
Well, I'm trying to understand how you are asking what a legacy character is. A legacy character is simply
I
a
am
character.
saying, what do you mean by new legacy character? If they're a legacy character, they wouldn't be new.
Stupidity is when you speak on things aggressively and you knowingly are ignorant on it.
No, legacy characters are characters that carry on the legacy. You understand that, right?
Yes, I understand that, but if it's a legacy character, the character itself has been there and it's ingrained in comic books, as you just said. So what do you mean?
Stupidity is when you speak on things aggressively.
Because there are new characters created to add on to the legacy. Please don't tell me you're this dumb.
And you knowingly are ignorant on it.
First he says she does appear ancient. Then later, I know she's older than what she appears. Like, what the how do you know any of this? How do you know?
I mean,
Dude,
does
it's like
the artwork
nobody-
supposed to show that she looks ancient? Because I was guessing 25, 35.
It's like if Nick Fury got like head trauma or something. He's like trying to be, like, okay, here's what I know about the Avengers. Captain America he do stuff with SHIELD.
Usually multi-million-dollar companies have somebody to proofread shit before they print it.
This is like a first draft, you know?
Yeah,
Like, this is what I write when like I'm just like doing something, and in my mind I like think of like, oh, that would be a cool idea for like a comic story or something, and then I just like write a quick paragraph or something, then leave it.
It's
did that.
Post-it note shit is what it is.
Exactly.
Here's a good way to
Well,
start.
somebody should point this out to Eric July. If you want to compete with Marvel and DC, the first step is to get a book out every month. Oh wait, I have pointed that out to him. Never mind.
Even if you don't have them, like if not even multi-million-dollar, like any indie comic creator that like cares about he's putting in people's hands and he really wants readers to fucking connect with it, would get a friend to look it over or something. Yeah. And if you did have friends look this over, then goddamn, you got some bad friends, and they were the wrong friends to show it to.
If she has a constant whirlwind that surrounds her, how could you make out the icicles that seem to grow from her pores?
Well, see, they only seem to.
The deceptive narrative is DC is making Poison Ivy a fat lesbian, implying the character is forever ruined by SJWs or wokeness. Actual context. The story is from Catwoman Lonely City, which is disconnected from the main continuity of the DC universe. Catwoman Lonely City is not canon, does not affect the established lore or the aesthetic of Poison Ivy or any other character. This is colloquially called an Elseworld story from the now defunct line of DC comics that exist in alternate realities using characters and concepts we're familiar with. Basically DC's version of What If.
Ponder the question, what if?
Previously. Now you have a million spider folk, which doesn't even make sense when you consider Peter's origin.
Dude, it's a multiverse.
I don't understand it.
Ponder the question, what if?
Fuck them hoe ass roads.
Ponder the question, what if?
I don't understand. How many times? You think we ain't felt all the things? How many times? We said we oppose taxation. What about the roads? How many times? What about the roads?
So this is him talking about the shipments arriving for his comic. And somebody pointed out, like, that's a stock photo, and I found the article where this photo is from. It just colored yellow for some reason. And
he likes yellow and green, apparently.
I literally found the fucking photo and tweeted about it. And I was like, dude, why would you, post this and act like, it's real? And he ends up saying, well, it's for the thumbnails. I mean, lots of people, like, okay, yeah, people use fake images for thumbnails. But when your whole narrative is that you are competing with Marvel and DC, you're giving them a run for their money. And then you present yourself as having this giant fucking enormous warehouse when really you probably got a fucking storage shed with, you know what I mean? Like, nah, dude, that's a grift. It's a fucking grift. There's no reason to do that except you're trying to create, an image you don't really have. And apparently I heard that he stored his comics in like Rubbermaid totes, which are not made to hold comics. So they're like kind of shifting all over each other. And then
the corners getting destroyed.
Yep.
Okay, let's use an actual example. What do you think of the new rumors that the next Superman might be a black actor?
I'm not a fan.
Why?
Because Superman is not black.
Superman's not human.
Yes, he is. He actually is a humanoid. He's just not from Earth. Stupidity is when you speak on things aggressively.
I guess you say I'm arguing on behalf of the people that because I easily I can say, oh, they're just racist white people, they don't want to see a black woman. But in their defense, it's like, hey, my daughter was going to see this. She was excited to see, the little white mermaid.
I have a kid, and my kid was a huge fan, probably still is. I haven't talked in a while about it, but like of the Little Mermaid, the original one. And if I found out that my kid saw this trailer and goes, I don't want to see this anymore because she's not white like I'm used to, I would feel like a failure as a fucking parent.
Fatality.
I would be fucking ashamed of myself.
It's what we teach our kids from the very beginning. Don't judge a book by its cover. It's not about the color of the skin. It's about the character. It's about the character inside. It's who you are inside. It doesn't matter how you look outside. We've been trying to teach kids this for who knows how long, and now like people are against this.
You win. Perfect.
A lot of people clash with Jeremy over a lot of fucking things, so it's not an echo chamber, like, because we fight constantly about like movies, games, and what we think is the best, and Zack Snyder's movies are one of them. There's a big division in G&G. Like a lot of people love these movies. Jeremy fucking hates them. So
we need. There's a big elephant in the room with that, though, isn't there? There's a big ass elephant in the room when it comes to Zack Snyder and Geeks and Gamers.
On our donation page, we still have the Geeks and Gamers logo. I just want to say that I really, we talked about this, and we're really not affiliated with Geeks and Gamers as far as I'm concerned, and I really just want to make that clear. And I also want to just say, in light of recent events, I think we really, if Justice League teaches us anything, it's about coming together, and there's no room for hate. And I just think that it's important. It's an important message. And of course, as the father of the Asian children, it really hits close to home for me. And I just really want to put that out there that we all, there's no room for hate.
Am I right?
Oh, we want to go there. Oh yeah.
Okay, so I can understand why there would be divided, because here's the thing.
Hey, what's going on?
It's not quite true that what he said. It was the way he framed it, because he was talking about a PR statement that he obviously Warner Brothers wanted him to put out.
As the father of the Asian children, it really hits close to home.
About that Asian hate thing, because that event just happened where a bunch of that massage parlor happened, and he wanted to. No, well, look at what happened right after with what's his name? Was it wasn't Patton? Was what is his name? The guy that went on after. I've got a video about it. They said the exact same thing.
As the father of the Asian children, it really hits close to home.
Thank you for this opportunity. I think you have a really great YouTube channel. The production quality is really good, even though I really don't agree with a whole lot that you say. Congratulations on 5K subs. That's exciting. I want to clarify, when I say that I'm part of the fandom menace, I basically just kind of saw that as the best way to describe like the conglomerate of YouTube channels basically that appear on Friday Night Tights, like Geeks and Gamers, Nerdrotic, Young Ripa, Heel versus Babyface, because technically Jeremy has disavowed the Geeks and Game. Jeremy has disavowed the Fandom Menace publicly. So I understand like there's that controversy there, but I still just thought is like the best way to describe, you know, the overall group of YouTube channels. And now I am technically a member of the Geeks and Gamers team, but my opinions are my own. I do not claim to come here and represent like the official opinion of Geeks and Gamers or represent anybody else's opinion or anything like that.
Just you mentioned something I kind of threw me off, is like Jeremy has disavowed the Fandom Menace, but he's still in the same circle of people, right? They're still all on Friday Night Tights together. He's still saying the same stuff about Star Wars and, you know, Marvel and everything that the Fandom Menace, like, so what is really the practical purpose of disavowing the Fandom Menace if like nothing is actually changing about what he's doing?
Oh, the reason that he gives is that apparently he saw too much like extremism within like the Fandom Menace among like things that fans were saying, and he didn't want to be like held responsible for any of that. He said, I'll be responsible for Geeks and Gamers, but not that. And so I guess he maybe saw it as too much to keep up with, something like that.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I guess I kind of see that. I don't know. I'm more of the mind that if I was part of something that I was like suddenly like, wow, this is getting kind of you know, more hostile and harmful than I really care for, rather than just go, I don't claim this label anymore. I would completely disconnect from the people that are associated with that label, because otherwise it would just seem kind of hollow to me. But that's just me. Like a lot of people making the claim that they're attacking the fans. And it's like, if you're not one of those people, they're not attacking you. So that's another example of like that kind of cynical, we're just going to blow it out of proportion and say that Star Wars is attacking the fans when, wait, but you're not being racist. So why are you being defensive about the fans? There's never a point where Star Wars said the entire fandom is racist. You're all racists, right? So like, do you see what I'm saying? What's the point of all this?
Yeah, they didn't. True. Yeah, they definitely didn't say all fans are racist. I haven't seen anybody make that claim.
Do it.
Here I go killing again.
And I think one of the major points that he brought up was the Ghostbusters 2016 film.
Yeah,
was
like
kind of like the it was kind of like the tipping point for where we were like, oh, companies are just going more for like
Ryan's taking a back seat.
The wokeness and stuff like that. Like that was his opinion on it. Do you agree with that? Like the quality of films have gone down since then, or do you think they are still like doing about the same as they were before?
It's honestly about the same. It's not any big difference. Ghostbusters 2016 was one of these meh movies that I find a lot of people like Critical Drinker and I don't know if Neurotic's done anything on Ghostbusters 2016. I'd be shocked. But a lot of these guys just whinge over it like
Almost
incessantly.
yeah.
And the movie came out like, what, 6 years ago? And yeah. I don't see how that's a reflection of...
I have an opinion on that. What I think happened with Ghostbusters 2016 is a certain, like, yeah, there was definitely a shift that happened with that movie. And just, you know, right out the gate, I think it sucks. I hate that fucking movie. Like, I couldn't get through it. But yeah, I don't think the shift was in the film industry as much as, I mean, yes, there's been a shift in the film industry, but I think that what you just described as far as like what Drinker described is really a shift also in YouTube film commentary, which started focusing on this word woke as, you know, something to put into the algorithm, and it goes in the algorithm, it goes into titles, and people click on it because it means whoever's reading it or hearing it wants it to mean.
Hasta la vista.
Nuance and context.
Well, then we should define the term right now. That way there's no more confusion going on.
Absolutely, we should.
What does woke mean to you?
I don't think it means anything. What does it mean to you guys?
Well,
they're talking about racist Star Wars fans.
they're
not just, these things aren't mutually exclusive, dude. There are people who call themselves Star Wars fans who are racist. And that's who they were talking to. The ones who were saying that shit to Moses Ingram. It's not that hard a concept. It really is mind-boggling to me that you guys seem to just fall over yourselves to misunderstand this shit.
Are you 100% sure that every single tweet that she got or DM or whatever was purely racist?
No, but she definitely got
they didn't
racist
say that.
ones.
You see how you're moving the goalposts just like all over the fucking place.
This video contains adult content not suitable for children.
Dude.
That's what the story was. That was the basis.
They never said that. They did not say 100% of the fucking messages were like, stop making up criteria that don't matter, dude.
That's how it got spun, though. That's my point.
Because she did get racist messages. She absolutely did.
It didn't get spun that way. It got blown up in that fucking echo chamber of the fandom menace and whatnot, where they're acting like that's what was said, when it really all that was said was literally right there in the tweet, and you can read it. And, you know, if you want to misinterpret it and blow it out of proportion and take it personally for some reason, that says a lot more about you than it does about Star Wars.
What does it say about me?
I don't know. That you're insecure about something, that, you know, that you don't know how to read very well, that your comprehension sucks. I'm not sure.
God damn!
Okay. What's more racist? Calling somebody a nick or doing a lynching?
I'm out. Why are you going to challenge me to a debate and not know? Like, they obviously wanted to talk to me about stuff, but then they didn't have any like research behind it, and then you're drunk.
Well, and I think we can answer that today, honestly. There's a lyric of a song that I really like, and it goes... Is it coincidence that the craziest fools have the strongest belief that they're right? Yeah, I mean, it's expressing the, you know, the Dunning-Kruger effect.
Kind of live a bit of a very walled off kind of existence when it comes to these type of things. But from what I've gathered from, you know, different pieces of media, YouTube responses, things like that.
So what he's gathered from YouTube.
How do I put this? Popular term for woke is raising perceived groups that are at a disadvantage to a higher level and promoting them more, i.e., you know, blacks, Asians, the other races,
blacks,
that is
Asians,
the way he's phrasing it. Yeah,
the gays, all that, and putting them on a plateau and making them the highlight of the conversation.
What in God's holy name are you blathering about?
All right, so moving on. Why is Jim so confident in all this? And you obviously see what the commonality is, right?
Yeah.
It's woke. The word woke is in all of these, whether or not they enjoyed it or not. They make sure to keep that word in there. And why is that? A lot of you probably are aware, but I think it's worth, you know, getting into a little bit of specifics and understanding this a little bit better. Because of how the YouTube algorithm works. And this goes to speak to what Jim was saying in that clip, where he learned what he knows about wokeness from YouTube.
Kind of live a bit of a very walled off kind of existence when it comes to, you know, blacks, Asians, the other races.
And I imagine that's where a lot of people did. But what's the problem with that? YouTube is not like it's not a meritocracy. It's not like the best information is what gets seen the most. It's not the most popular information and content is always the most enlightened or informed content. Like me and Bob were talking beforehand about, we'll often get comments of somebody like, if you make a video about Critical Drinker or something, they'll go, oh, well, he's got 1 million subscribers and you don't, so that should tell you. But, like, yeah, no, it does. It tells me that the algorithm is fucking weird. Well, Matthew, I mean, I agree in sentiment, but it is fixed. It's working the way it's supposed to in favor of YouTube and ads. That's the thing. That's why it won't get fixed, because it's not really broken to them. It's doing exactly what they want. It's only broken when it comes to the effect it has on, culture and society. Since 2015, YouTube's goals have purely been to help viewers find the kinds of content they want to watch to increase long-term satisfaction. Of course, we're all subject to this disclaimer. We all live in this world to some degree, are watching obviously what we want to watch. That's, obvious, but like when the stuff that you want to watch doesn't actually kind of evoke any real critical thought, and it doesn't inform you very much, it just kind of repeats a message over and over again. The message. And it's just telling you, this is woke, everything's woke, woke is bad, look out for woke, wokey woke, 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 woke. Then you end up like fucking Jim the fucking Casual, or his buddy, who admitted on stream eventually that like he doesn't watch any of the movies that we're talking about. He just watches YouTubers say it. And Jim admitted it too. He got all his, and you end up so confident. Your fucking head is full of this bullshit that like you think it's fucking legit. And you challenge people to a debate, and then you go on drunk and perform that way about it. And then we looked at his other comments. It wasn't a special occasion for Jim to be that stupid. That's a common thing for him. And it creates this Dunning-Kruger effect where I've been in 5 debates now, and I'll just say I've won them all. I don't want to be like, I've crushed them all, but I've won them all. I think anybody with a, reasonable set of standards would watch those and see that I perform better than the other guy. And that's because of this. That's why I'm surprised that I'm fucking good at it, because I'm really not. I'm just like, I'm not good at debating, guys. I'm really not. It just, if you are committed to facts and understanding things on a critical level, people's shit falls apart.
Well, then we should define the term right now. That way there's no more confusion going on.
Absolutely, we should.
What does woke mean to you?
But you notice that moment when I said, I don't think it means anything. I don't believe woke means anything. What does it mean to you guys? What does it mean to you guys?
Well,
and they're both like, it like broke their brains for a second. And it's because of this. They have for years now been consuming this shit uncritically, unquestioningly. And then they see other people say it, and these other people are, and it feels good to be part of a community where you see other people saying the same thing you are, and they're liking yours and retweeting yours because you said it, and you never really challenge it. It becomes like, this is just a socially accepted thing. Ironically, this is the socially accepted thing on YouTube, especially, to think that woke is some fucking, imminent threat and it's affecting and poisoning everything, despite the fact that it's all very, very subjective and nobody can fucking really give a coherent definition that doesn't immediately contradict something else that they wouldn't call woke or didn't call woke.
I said, Marsha, I don't know why you're doing what you're doing, but out of Darwin's memory, I am not going to fight back. If you feel the need, because she blamed me for that, and she tried to call a harassment army, the likes of which I have not experienced before or since, against me, saying that I was claiming her husband, her deceased husband, Darwin Cook, was Comicsgate. That was a lie. Well, I didn't say that. Mark, understand, you people lie. I did not say that. Billy did.
So have you ever said that he's Comicsgate?
No.
So you've never ever
I'm not saying it now.
Comicsgate?
No.
All right, this is interesting.
I don't
Here's a
think
tweet
so.
from you. Have fun scraping work in a dead industry that if you suck enough corporate dick, you'll be able to earn in a lifetime what I earned drawing frogs independently. By the way, Darwin Cook was
show it, bring it up.
Yeah, guess what, Ethan?
What's that?
What you just did was called a lie.
You're a soy boy and you stand against it. You stand for woke. That's what you do. You stand for woke.
So
you think you stand against bigots, but
I have to ask
I stand against bigots too. I stand against you then.
Because this soy shit's been so disproven and you love to use it.
it's a nice way of not calling you gay. You know, like in the old
so
way
you
of
won't call
like
me gay.
people used
So
to say,
let me ask
dude,
you
stop
this:
being
is
so
gay an insult?
Yeah.
So okay, so
It used to be.
explain
Now
me.
it isn't so much. It should
Okay,
be again.
so
Yeah.
so calling somebody gay
Right.
should be an insult
Because it didn't mean
That's what you're saying.
homosexual. It meant lame. So soy is a nice way of saying, instead of saying gay, because here's the problem. All right. And the problem is you're quite right. Like, listen, people don't want to insult homosexuals. They don't want to insult the LGBTQ community, but they still want to use the kind of word that means lame, the way gay used to, but it no longer does. So we call you soy, okay, which means kind of weak, femmy, like linguini spined. That's what it means. We call you
This is
soy
interesting.
boys.
I like
pussies.
seeing your homophobia.
Yes,
a bit.
pussies. I just told you why it wasn't homophobia. Soy
And
is
then
about
you did homophobia, dude.
No, it isn't. It just isn't. You're lying again. You're
That's
not listening.
literally
You have
what you just
selective
defined it
hearing.
as.
You know, I'm being honest with you and forthright. I didn't do that. You are lying again.
Wow.
Real time, you're lying. Like you're not even waiting to go back and recut this in order to say.
I don't
this.
have to recut
You're
this,
lying
Ethan.
real time. So soy is a nice way of saying
Fuck you, you fucking fat. Shut up.
Listen, people don't want to insult homosexuals. They don't want to insult the LGBTQ community, but they still want to use the kind of word that means lame.
Listen, people don't want to insult homosexuals. They don't want to insult the LGBTQ community.
Oh, you're a pussy. Fuck you, you fucking faggot. Shut up.
In the old days, by that I mean the 90s, people used to say, stop being gay. They didn't mean homosexual. They meant lame.
PPLittle.com. Hi, I'm PP Little, the anti-woke warrior. And today, I'm debating Dane of Actual Fandom.
Hey, PP, big fan.
I bet you are. And joining him today is Turf Nation.
Hey guys.
And fine.
Sorry, I have to go.
Is DJ showing up?
Sorry, PP, DJ couldn't make it.
Oh, thank fucking Christ. And finally, we have from Organized Chaos, Bob Chaos.
Hey, thanks for having me here.
Shut up, Bob.
Whoa, too far, PP.
Yeah, I'll take that from Dane and my boys and my whores, but not from you.
Oh, yeah? What now, Bob?
Okay.
Huzzah! You have fallen for my trap. You have accepted money, making you a grifter.
Objectively?
By definition.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, well, you guys are used to taking money, you shills. You fell for my trap. I laid it out perfectly.
Sure you did, PP. Are we going to debate or what?
Yes, of course. Now, I have a very simple question to ask you guys.
Sure you do.
What's wrong with being white? Would you be laughing if I asked what was wrong with being black?
Who said there was anything wrong with either?
You guys did.
When?
Well, when...
PP, we are white.
You sure as hell don't act like it.
And how should white people act?
Oh, like this.
Get out of here!
You see, like that.
Whoa, dude, are you saying that all white people are racist?
Hey, I watch Eric July.
So?
He says all the things that I can't.
Why not?
Because then I'd be called a racist.
By who?
The people whose lives don't matter.
Whoa, what exactly do you mean by that?
If you were a proper white man, you would know.
Guess I'm not a proper white man.
Ha! I got you again. Now, Bob, you aren't bothered by the Black Mermaid, so why do you support white genocide?
He says you paid him $50 to shut up, and he's going to need double to keep talking.
That's bad faith.
That's capitalism. We can keep talking, PP. I'm really triggered by your just...
Shut up, Dane! Oh, shit. $100 to get me to talk to.
Thanks, PP.
Thanks, man. Thank you.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't be paying if I wasn't winning.
You call this winning?
Now who's moving the goalpost, Dane? You're bad faith.
Here we go again.
You just did something you criticize others for doing. That's the definition of bad faith. Bad faith.
PP, please.
Spell it.
Oh, screw you, dude.
You see, you can't even spell it. I doubt you know what it means.
I'll tell you what bad faith means. Girl, did you hear what Rachel Ziegler said?
That doesn't answer the question. Either spell it or say what it means.
Okay. I'll tell you what bad faith means. Dane, early in the initiative, you accidentally misspelled it as the initiative in one of your first episodes. And Bob, you can be really condescending sometimes. Hey, that's not funny. You guys are both hypocrites. Nobody knows what it's like to be a PP. Now, Bob, I don't know who you are. I've never seen your content before. I don't even know what's going on most of the time. But I can tell that Dane and the initiative are holding you back.
I get that a lot. It's funny, though, because it comes from people in chat who have never seen my stuff.
If you'd stop banning me, I wouldn't have to make so many accounts.
How many accounts do you have?
As many as I need to keep the loneliness away.
Damn, PP. That's really sad.
It ain't easy being PP. She hates me, man.
Who hates you?
Princess Peach.
Princess Peach?
I think he's talking about the part in the trailer where she kicked the
the umbrella up in the Mario trailer. See, I'm not the only one. Nintendo hates men. Woke.
Are you okay, PP?
I watch Geeks and Gamers, Dane. You think I have much to offer women? I can hold stuff. Umbrellas, the black round-rimmed glasses their boyfriends take off before sex so they don't get foggy. That's it.
Those glasses do look familiar.
Now the feminazis are saying it's sexist to hold umbrellas for women.
There's nothing feminist about umbrellas, PP.
Politics is downstream from culture, Dane. Princess Peach hates men. Geeks and Gamers told me so.
Damn, PP. You got issues.
PP issues.
Hey, DJ.
Bob, shut up. Hey, PP, love your channel. It's the coolest channel on YouTube. Make sure to subscribe to Pop Counterculture for more PP Little. Hit the like bell, subscribe, and say hi in the comments while you're at it. Pew, pew.
DJ.
I was listening to you guys, and I have something to say.
Ah, fuck. Okay, DJ, shoot.
I'm not even going to touch the whole proper white man stuff. That is just fucked up, and you know it.
Woke.
The one thing that really stood out to me was that whole Princess Peach thing.
Groomer.
I mean, do you hear yourself at all? The whole plot of that movie is that Mario saves Luigi, 2 men. If she hated men or whatever, why would she help in saving them?
What about Bowser, huh? They made the villain a traditional alpha male.
PP, he holds Luigi ransom to pressure Peach into a marriage she doesn't want. Do you call that traditional? He was created in the 80s when no one thought twice, 3 times, 4 times from making Bowser the villain just for kidnapping. Was it woke then? At least the movie elevates what makes him a villain to kidnap, ransom, and basically forcing a woman.
Whoa.
Holy shit, PP.
Bad faith.
Triggered?
Shut up, Bob. Your voice is annoying. Bad faith. Bad faith. I'm not going to talk to people who are so obviously in bad faith. I'm built like a goddamn brick. A little brick. That's all for today, everyone. Stay angry. It pays my bills. I won this debate. PP Little out.
Ethan's been watching us since day one. Literally, me and Bob, since the first time we streamed together. So he's like maybe seen that, you know, these guys are gonna keep coming at me. I don't know.
New drama just dropped, by the way, while we're sitting
happened?
here. Between Critical Drinker and your boy Zach, now they're fighting. So
Oh shit, that's awesome. I love
posted,
it.
it's Review Tuesday, which means you've had 6 days to gauge what your audience will allow you to say. He's talking about Critical Drinker. If you would just review shows as soon as they came out, like every other critic on the planet, that would make you seem more like an actual critic than a consensus aggregator. Or
Did you see what he said about fucking RPG character creation? and
yeah,
stuff?
yeah.
Holy shit.
Oh, yeah.
And then it goes on here to say, Critical Drinker responds with, or maybe you know I actually have a life outside of YouTube. You live on YouTube, dude. Don't even try it.
Yeah.
I have a life outside of YouTube. Was away all weekend and only got back in time to watch and review the show yesterday. Seriously, dude, whatever hate boner you're maintaining here, just rub one out and get over it. That's real ironic coming from Critical Drinker. And then over here, Ethan says, seems like Zach hit a nerve, for fuck's sake, man. And then here, Clown's angry. They really can't handle criticism. And then he shows here, this absolute loser has been grifting off. Yeah, but watch this. It gets even better. This absolute loser has been grifting off my name and making videos seething about me for months now. I don't know if he's jealous because his own channel is dying or just fucked up in his head. Either way, it's pathetic to watch.
my God.
And then Jeremy says, they push negativity and hate to their audience. They waited to see what the audience said before giving it a positive review. And then Ethan says, Jeremy, you love The Last Jedi and Ryan Johnson until one day for some reason you hated them both. You admitted on FNT that you guys find one little negative half news story and make 19 videos about it. Don't gaslight me, brah.
Oh
Dude,
my
did we
God.
did we de-radicalize Ethan with our fucking
What's funny is those two stories are stories that we talk about all the time. Like, we bring it up on here all the time. So
God damn, fucking high five, gentlemen. I think we had something to do with this. Like,
Jesus.
I don't know why, but that drama just hyped my day. Like, I'm gonna go into work with like such a hype behind me because honestly, like we've been doing this for a minute. And to see that some people are starting to understand that the grifting is happening and it's happening in their own backyard is pretty exciting.
It's like we've been right for a while.
Story.
Holy shit.
Alright, you assholes.
I've got a collection of what I feel like are some of the best moments that various grifters just revealing the grift or revealing that they are full of shit or whatever. And I'm curious. I'm sure you've seen a couple of
My
these,
favorite genre.
It really is a good one. I know you used one in your video with the that was the one that prompted me to do this. And so I started kind of thinking, what other clips do I know of where they just say something? It's like, come on, man, how do you not see that this is a grift?
That is Jeremy Griggs, the man behind Geeks and Gamers, who is, incidentally, the only one of these guys to have a shred of self-awareness.
Welcome to every video we make. We use one little thing and then we build the narrative out of it.
Welcome to every video we make. We use one little thing and then we build the narrative out of it.
She's a former Padawan who could put out sustained fires in the vacuum of space. Sustained fires in the vacuum of space. Sustained fires in the vacuum of space. Fires in the vacuum of space. Fires in the vacuum of space. Sustained fires in the vacuum of space.
The fact that there's so many videos and so many people that are just like, they stole her ass, you know, where's her cakes and shit like that. Like, and then you look, you just think about it for like a second. It's like, wait a second, this show was on for 5 seasons. It's the one image that we're constantly seeing, right? So that's the shot from the show.
That's
So it's not even like her like being sexy or anything. It's her facing down Apocalypse.
In a vulnerable spot, to be sure. But yeah, let's see the context in the show.
Like all the others. You must be exterminated.
So why is it this one shot that's being, you know, used?
Yeah, surely they could find a shot of her butt, like just like not being attacked by a super
I
powered
did
villain.
some looking, I did some digging, and I've got right here just kind of like the best shots from the show. If you want to look, you can go look. There's clips on YouTube. You can try to find me a single other fucking shot in X-Men the Animated Series with her butt looking like this, because guess what it looks like every other time.
I never thought I'd see this place again. Looks like the doc's doing a little.
It's just like what it looks like in the new image. And, flat butt. Flat butt.
You're destroying my child.
Lenore's on. Flat butt. Look at that flat butt. Why are we objectifying a fucking cartoon in the first place is really the question.
Yeah, it's weird that like to prove how silly these arguments are that we have to sit here and be like, look, a flat butt on like a fucking cartoon character and just like zoom in.
Yeah.
Like,
But-
I mean, I recognize
there's a
how
reason
obscure
for
it was when I was doing it, but yeah.
Yeah, like there's a reason for it.
Yeah, this X-Men 97 stuff from top to bottom shows like the entirety of the grift, right? Like you've got missing cakes, right? Which is not a thing that matters and shouldn't matter because it's not like she was known for her ass in the show. There's that one shot that's become a meme in the last decade.
Have a million spider folk, which doesn't even make sense when you consider Peter's origin.
I define everybody that's not Peter Parker as an unoriginal Peter Parker.
Talking about Peter Darker.
Fun fact. Eric used to like the character, even saying he's more than just a black Peter Parker, but he changed his tune when he found out he could make more money pandering to racist comic book fans who hate Miles Morales.
You're just actively making shit up, ha ha ha.
Did you used to like him? Not judging or whatever. Just curious.
No.
Do you like Miles Morales then?
No.
Yeah, some characters have been written decently that are of different races and have suited up in the suit of a hero or a version of that hero. One of the more obvious is Miles Morales as Spider-Man.
You're just actively making shit up, ha ha ha.
Miles Morales has his own background. This is far better than just simply making Peter Parker a black guy.
Talking about Peter Darker.
But Miles is an exception, make no mistake.
I define everybody that's not Peter Parker as an unoriginal Peter Parker.
And it will always be preferable to have another character with his own unique skill set, unique art. This is far better than just simply making Peter Parker a black guy.
So it's Star Trek. But the big difference is the original series was taking itself and its stories seriously.
Captain?
Even the light-hearted ones never deliberately descended into outright farce and self-reverential comedy.
Harcourt, Fenton, Mud, what have you been up to?
But Strange New Worlds doesn't take itself seriously because it doesn't take the original seriously.
I'm Captain Kirk!
The original series was taking itself and its stories seriously.
You know what I mean?
I said, Marsha, I don't know why you're doing what you're doing, but out of Darwin's memory, I am not going to fight back. If you feel the need, because she blamed me for that, and she tried to call a harassment army, the likes of which I have not experienced before or since, against me, saying that I was claiming her husband, her deceased husband, Darwin Cook, was Comicsgate. That was a lie.
Well,
I didn't say that. Mark, understand, you people lie. I did not say that. Billy did.
So have you ever said that he's Comicsgate?
No.
So you've never ever
I'm not
said
saying
he's
it
been
now.
Comicsgate?
No.
All right, this is interesting.
I don't
Here's
think
a tweet
so.
from you. Have fun scraping work in a dead industry that if you suck enough corporate dick, you'll be able to earn in a lifetime what I earned drawing frogs independently. By the way, Darwin Cook was
show
Comicsgate.
it, bring it up.
Yeah, guess what, Ethan?
What's that?
What you just did was called a lie.
There's a reason people like in the West are starting to draw more and more towards Korean or Japanese filmmaking. It's precisely because it's a bit different from what we get. And that's a good thing.
Yeah, what is the most recent Japanese film, or at least entertainment that you enjoyed so far?
What am I thinking of? See, a lot of them would be older ones, like Old Boy, for example. I really enjoyed that one. I know it's not Japanese, but yeah, probably stuff like that. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, I really like that. And it's like Chinese, I think. But yeah, like it's
Steve Rogers is indeed Captain America, and Miles Morales is Miles Morales. This statement does not say that Sam Wilson isn't a Captain America. It doesn't say John Walker isn't a Captain America, or Isaiah Bradley, who was retconned as the first Captain America, isn't a Captain America. It doesn't say that Bucky Barnes isn't a Captain America. It just says Steve Rogers is Captain America, and the same goes with Miles Morales. He is indeed, again, Miles Morales. He's also a Spider-Man.
I mean, it's him admitting what he's already admitted, but like much more boldly than he has before.
Wow. This month, I've made $1,000 on Twitter. $1,000. I'm making $1,000 off of Miles Morales tweets. Shit I would do for free. That, for one, is America. That is capitalism. It's fucking hilarious. And you can do it too. You can do it too. You can do Miles Morales tweets. Because they're like engagement gold. They're engagement crack. I used to sell toxic poison to kids to feed my habit and make money, and I went to jail. Now I sell toxic poison to kids to feed my habit and make money on YouTube.
Reacher, of course, is the antithesis of what Hollywood and streaming services largely want to push these days. Mostly because it stars a strong male character who is also straight, and also the actor behind Reacher, whose name is Alan Ritchson, is an openly devoted Christian man. That last part is very important, by the way, because largely in this day and age, Christianity as a religion is dogpiled on and attacked constantly. Things like the woke mind virus absolutely do go out of their way to attack religion.
That's interesting that he says woke mind virus.
The word woke. I hate the word woke. I think it is absolutely egregious abuse of the gift of language. I think we should be vilifying the use of this word. When we use language, we have an obligation and a responsibility to be so specific that people cannot mince our words, that people cannot misunderstand what we're getting at. But when we use a word like woke, it gives all the latitude to the hearer to fill in the blanks about what I'm actually saying. What is a woke? Is it a noun? When Ron DeSantis was recently reelected, he said, Florida is where woke goes to die. Is woke a noun? Is woke a living, breathing thing? How can it go there to die? Whatever could you mean, Ron DeSantis? What could you actually be saying in your veiled contempt? Well, leave it to the hearer to fill in the blank. The word woke has come to be a substitute for whatever we hate the most, whatever we despise the most, whatever we vilify, whatever we want to rally around, whatever our monster is, that is the woke. How can woke go to die? Well, we don't want to say it because it's gross to say, I would like gay people to go die in Florida. We will wipe them out. Or transgendered people will get wiped out in Florida. Blacks, we're going to wipe them out in Florida. See, we can't say that, so we substitute it with an abusive word like woke that allows you to do the heavy lifting. What a cowardly thing to do, DeSantis, and anybody else who tosses that word around flippantly.
Tell me, how many dumb, hapless, incompetent husbands, fathers, and boyfriends do you see constantly screwing up even the most simple household tasks?
It's a strange sort of offering that they're giving us now, where we're going to actively hate you as an art form. We're going to make it our business to make you feel awful about yourself. And if you dare to push back on that and reject the offering that we're giving you, then we just label you as a bigot or a reactionary or whatever stupid term we label people with these days.
The obvious fallacy with this idea is he conveniently ignores the countless modern movies which have white men leads who are the opposite. Not to mention that the dopey straight white husband has been an ongoing theme in TV and sitcoms since forever. And while he has a lot to say about the representation of straight white men, he doesn't seem to bring up the countless years of pigeonholed ethnic groups who always had to play the criminals, or the cleaners, or the quick stop clerks.
What's the problem with the new legacy characters though? Because legacy characters are a comic book tradition.
What do you mean by new legacy character? What do you mean new legacy character? Are
You
you talking
understand-
about knockoff versions? Is that what you're referring to?
Okay, so you understand what a legacy character is, right?
Yes, I'm asking you for clarification. Can you answer what the question I just had?
Well, I'm trying to understand how you are asking what a legacy character is. A legacy character is simply
I
a
am
character.
saying, what do you mean by new legacy character? If they're a legacy character, they wouldn't be new.
What? No, legacy characters are characters that carry on the legacy. You understand that, right?
Yes, I understand that, but if it's a legacy character, the character itself has been there and it's ingrained in comic books, as you just said. So what do you mean new?
Because there are new characters created to add on to the legacy. Please don't tell me you're this dumb.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, how does this society? Well, I guess we eventually see like how it operates, but it's just like, how do you build stuff, man? Like in water, like
Underwater welding. It's one of the most essential jobs on the planet.
That's going to be really difficult, right?
As well, because it's not like on land where you have seasons or you have like changing weather or anything. Like you're under the ocean. It's just the same all the time. And clearly you can survive under the ocean. You don't need buildings.
Like if I hire Eric to paint my house, right? Hey, Eric, I need you to paint my house blue. I want you to paint it blue. And so that's the parameters, paint it. And he's out there painting it, listening to music. I go, I didn't hire you to listen to music. You go, well, you can't control what music I listen to. As long as the house gets painted, I've fulfilled the parameters of my job. So the company goes, hey, I need you to make a new action-adventure game set in the 1980s Miami. And we give it to them. That should be it. That should be the end of where they get off and on, right?
But Tony, if Sweet Baby Inc. is being contracted to write, as they often are per some of the coverage that I've seen of this, if they're being contracted to write supplemental material for the game, then isn't that like the painting your house example that you brought up earlier, where they're being contracted and Sweet Baby Inc. is now allowed to write things for the game?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, they are. And the problem, or I guess the problem, I'm putting quotation marks, maybe you can't hear them, but the problem is that people are saying that Sweet Baby Inc. is putting in woke stuff. I don't agree with all that.
You should respect their vision by your earlier logic.
I do. I don't have a problem with their vision.
But I mean,
again, my whole contention has always been, what are they doing?
And it's like I think it's fair. Can we get you to agree that you can't really justifiably use the word evils or say that they are contributing to some kind of evil plot or anything when you literally don't have a shred of evidence that that's actually happening? Can you acknowledge that?
Did I say evil plot?
In your video, you did say evils. The evils that they're doing, yeah.
To recap, Sweet Baby Inc. recently became the target of a group which claimed the company was forcing studios it worked with to increase diversity within its games and accused of it of pushing a, quote, woke agenda into the industry. Following a report into the claims by Kotaku, a number of game developers have spoken up to clear up misconceptions about what companies like Sweet Baby Inc. actually do. I'm going to stop you right fucking there, okay? Eurogamer, let me stop you right fucking there. Okay? If a company is being accused of nefariously injecting personal politics into their games, they're being accused of all these evils, probably. I don't know, I say a lot of things.
You've read Amazing Fantasy number 15, right?
Go back to ISOM. What about it are you asking? What specific
Wait. You've read Amazing Fantasy number 15, right?
What specific action are you asking? Pretending? No, I'm gonna get stuck on this one. You've read Amazing Fantasy number 15, right? Are you what? Let's talk about ISOM. You just asked me a question. Let's quit moving the goalposts. What specifically about the
There are plenty of people that don't know who Spider-Man is, dipshit.
Suffering Steve Ditko, how can you not know that Spider-Man first appeared in 1962's classic Amazing Fantasy number 15?
But I mean, the point of the matter is, again, like, it really is just about supporting creators that you like. And if you want to give Eric July $100 a month, it doesn't really matter like what comes with it. You're just sponsoring him to continue yelling about the hoe-ass roads.
How many times you think we ain't felt all the things? How many times we said we oppose taxation? What about the roads? How many times? What about the roads?
Are you seeing it yet?
Prosecutors allege a media company linked to conservative influencers who regularly reach millions, including Benny Johnson, was secretly funded by Russian state media employees.
Been a little busy this week in the old news section of the internet.
It's been following you. I kind of thought you were the expert in all conspiracies. If anything, it was entertaining. I always found it entertaining.
Exactly. It's not so entertaining now that it all came true.
No.
No.
We we have a very special show today. That'll
Hey, Gavin, what's your favorite video game?
It's already started.
Oh, my God,
Jesus Christ.
The Emperor is not dead, actually, and The Last Jedi didn't matter, and he's here. And my favorite part about it is he wants to be Rey.
Yeah, and then he kisses Kylo Ren. I got to start by saying I'm like really confused right now because I cannot tell the difference between Lauren and X-Ray Girl. I'm like, don't have them next to each other. I'm going to be referring to the wrong person for the whole show. Damn it.
And there is one man who has joined us in the fight against evil. And Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers.
Seriously, congratulations, man. Hitting 2 million. I love it. I appreciate everything you've done for us.
We got Nerdrotic. Gary up on the channel. The great Alex Jones.
The Fandom Menace, aka the Fellowship, the group of YouTubers that generally get together on Friday Night Tights, seem to be very close and regularly collaborate with several people who have been directly involved in efforts to undermine or overthrow the U.S. democracy. These content creators do have an ulterior motive. We've said this all along. Are you seeing it yet? Mentioned something kind of threw me off is like Jeremy has disavowed the Fandom Menace, but he's still in the same circle of people, right? They're still all on Friday Night Tights together. He's still saying the same stuff. So what is really the practical purpose of disavowing the Fandom Menace if like nothing is actually changing about what he's doing?
Oh, the reason that he gives is that apparently he saw too much like extremism within like the Fandom Menace among like things that fans were saying, and he didn't want to be like held responsible for any of that. He said, I'll be responsible for Geeks and Gamers, but not that. I don't know. I'm more of the mind that if I was part of something that I was like suddenly like, wow, this is getting kind of more hostile and harmful than I really care for, rather than just go, I don't claim this label anymore. I would completely disconnect from the people that are associated with that label, because otherwise it would just seem kind of hollow to me. But that's just me.
Holy fuck of the diversity.
Why did you join the Brotherhood?
Oh my God, the diversity.
People are going to come after you.
Look out at this wasteland.
Diversity.
I'm not in this for the internet fame. There's 400 people watching this stream. If one of them knows my name now that didn't know it before, it's a success for me.
I'm not in this for the internet fame.
We're not going to bend on our standards. At the end of the day, I have tried to build Geeks and Gamers by doing it the structured way, the methodical way, the think it out, prep it, take notes, think about everything you're going to say, and it fucking failed miserably on me. The day that I started doing what I'm doing right now, which is what you're having a problem with, is the day that I started becoming successful.
We're not going to bend on our standards.
I have never seen such a immature, whiny, little bitchy fan base in my life. It's ridiculous how pathetic these people are. Do I constantly whine and bitch and complain about it? No!
So again, while this game had a lot of good things going for it, and it's been widely discussed from that perspective, it's the hidden agenda involved. And this is why so many people are overly hypersensitive. And I mean this in the way that too many fans have been done wrong too many times. Kathleen Kennedy, she doesn't miss any opportunity to fuck up George Lucas's creation. And we have the latest problem with Kathleen Kennedy and Disney Star Wars.
But if I don't like it, I complain about it for like a few days, and then I just move on with my fucking life.
Brie Larson. I don't
understand this need to continue to bitch and whine and moan.
Brie Larson. With Brie Larson. Brie Larson.
Larson, Brie 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 Larson,
Upon the release of The Last Jedi, Jeremy Griggs released a glowing review. It has since been taken down. This is the only surviving clip.
I love The Last Jedi, and I think it did a damn good job for being what it needed to be for Star Wars.
It's not that hard to figure out. I like The Last Jedi. I think I've made like 3 fucking reviews on it, and I'm still trying to figure out where I stand on this movie. But I'm a mess when it comes to this movie because I just can't figure out how I ultimately feel. But as I'm sitting here right now, I like The Last Jedi.
As the backlash over The Last Jedi grew, channels like Nerdrotic and Doomcock saw an opportunity to capitalize, fanning the flames of geek rage. And after years of putting in hard work into a channel that rarely fostered more than a couple hundred views, Jeremy couldn't resist.
Not to sound like a dick, but I just don't care. I mean, there's 400 people watching this stream. If one of them knows my name now that didn't know it before, it's a success for me. At the end of the day, I have tried to build Geeks and Gamers by doing it the structured way, the methodical way, the think it out, prep it, take notes, think about everything you're going to say, and it fucking failed miserably on me. The day that I started doing what I'm doing right now, which is what you're, having a problem with, is the day that I started becoming successful.
Because that's fine. I mean, it's what the internet does. I've done it. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing per se. I mean, we've all taken things out of context.
Okay, fine. You want to make a video about that and say, I think that's a shitty thing to say, but why did it turn into like a year almost of nonstop videos and
because he was
articles
using the
and
algorithm,
tweeting
like
about it?
he knows the algorithm was geared towards making those kind of videos, so he did it.
So you do admit that Geeks and Gamers uses the algorithms and how it favors sensationalism and outrage. So you're making outrage content, right?
What is YouTube about getting views? A lot of people want to get views. Like if your algorithm is pushing one thing, you're gonna make more videos on that thing.
Brie Larson. I
don't understand this need to continue to bitch and whine and moan.
Brie Larson. With Brie Larson. Bree's Brie.
Like, I don't get offended by shit.
She's the one in the middle standing. Look how she's the one.
I don't know how people are so easily offended these days. And really they're not. They're acting offended because it gets you traction on social media.
Although you literally say,
I just created
before I make a video. Something I don't do.
I just created a one-piece discussion right now. I just created one for the past 5 minutes.
Yeah.
No, you didn't.
I would have liked.
Did we just talk about One Piece for 5 minutes? Yes or no?
We didn't.
Yes,
One Piece was used, but we didn't talk about it.
No.
Welcome to every video we make. We use one little thing and then we build the narrative out of it.
Welcome to every video we make. We use one little thing and then we build the narrative out of it.
Don't act like that's not what we do.
I don't build a narrative. I
You're
give
an
my
absolute
opinion.
fucking.
You
are hard.
what we do. You've made the same fucking video on the same topic at least 7 times a week, Ryan. And you're gonna act like we don't do that.
I talk about I talk about
says one fucking thing and we make a whole video out of it. That's what we do. So this is an argument that we had on Friday Night Tights. I don't even remember the specifics about what the argument was. But every time I say the same thing that I say in this video, these crazy fucks that have pronouns in their bio and they're mentally ill, or just people that are just jealous in general, they go, he finally admitted it, ladies and gentlemen. I've literally admitted it 1,000 times. Whatever it is you think I'm admitting, I've said this 1,000 times.
Notice how he doubles down, arguing that what he said was both sincere and correct. Now, here's how Ryan covers it.
Ironically, this is a clip of Jeremy who went on this fucking rant because he didn't either wanted to talk about this or didn't want to talk about that or something, and he went on this fucking big rant on FNC. That's what we do. We talk about things. We talk about them over and over again. That's basically what he did. Jeremy kind of leaning into the meme that all these people were so upset about, and of course people like him took it seriously.
Ryan seems to think that Jeremy was just memeing and that woke freaks took him seriously, and I just find it interesting that neither of them seem to agree on the contents of that clip. Was it 100% serious and we're stupid for thinking it's bad? Or was it a meme that we're stupid for thinking was serious? The world may never know.
We don't do that. I talk about, I talk about
says one fucking thing and we make a whole video out of it. That's what we do.
We don't do that.
Brie Larson, Brie is Brie is Brie Larson,
You've made the same fucking video on the same topic at least 7 times a week.
I get it. There are certain people that are going to just throw blanket claims out there to try to get attention.
We don't do that. Brie Larson as Brie Larson as Brie Larson. Brie Larson after Brie Larson's Brie Larson. Brie Larson, Brie Larson, Brie Larson.
You've made the same fucking video on the same topic at least 7 times a week, Ryan.
Brie Larson.
I have never seen such a immature, whiny, little bitchy fan base in my life.
Brie Larson, Brie Larson, Brie Larson, Brie Larson, Brie Larson, Brie Larson, Brie Larson. Don't do that.
MCU.
We just don't care and we don't take you seriously. You're just a bunch of like annoying little children. Just
But usually when someone says something is woke, the implication is that the story or the movie is embedding some kind of political message in it that the person making the video finds distasteful or doesn't agree with.
Well, so okay.
That's an interesting thing, though.
You take issue with that?
Well, here's a question I have for you. What is then the political message behind She-Hulk?
So I think when people were saying She-Hulk was woke, it was the sense that it seemed to be anti-male ideas within the show.
But would you consider that a valid criticism? Because there's plenty of positive male role models in that show.
Like who?
Like Daredevil, like Hulk, like Pug, her co-worker. There's plenty. Wong.
So I think Daredevil's the only one I can agree with you. Hulk.
How are the other ones
like a lot of people like
negatively?
really.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say, like in the first episode, which I think is what turned a lot of people off. They have the whole scene where Bruce Banner, who's had to deal with this being the Hulk for 10 years so far in this show, and has to deal with all his anger issues and all this stuff. He's trying to teach her how to basically be Hulk.
Yeah.
And she is basically given the ability to control it right off the bat. And the excuse the show gives for that ability is the fact that by nature of being a woman and having to live in a sexist society, she's been able to control her anger where a man doesn't have to control his anger.
Yeah. And so the thing about that in particular is because this is a common thing that I've heard about that. And like when it happened, I was watching and then I saw people getting upset about it. Like, she can just automatically control her anger better. And I'm like, do you guys not realize that at some point in this season, she's going to, this is going to be proven as hubris? Her being exactly overconfident about it. Which is exactly what the next to last episode, she fucking hulked out and went nuts. And it's like, which is bizarre to me because like Tony Stark is allowed to be, to be overconfident and arrogant and then have his arrogance bite him in his ass. And that's like just a character trait, I suppose. But when it comes to her, it's nope, not allowed. And another thing on
Tony Stark is his arrogance though is he's not saying like all men can do this kind of thing. He's saying I am great at doing this type of thing. She-Hulk is literally saying like all women have to control their anger in this way. So it's a much more political message.
But the show, the point of the show was that she was wrong in that moment. She didn't have all under control and she needed to listen to Bruce a bit more. That was the point of that moment.
And I also just reject the idea that a woman's perspective is political.
Well, no, it wouldn't be because she's a woman, the perspective is political. It'd be by making it based on like all women have X quality. And women have X quality. That would be.
I mean, I don't think it was making such a declarative statement in that way. That
well, I mean, she framed it that way in that scene. But it's interesting that you said that you think that the audience is supposed to take that as her being, egotistical.
Yeah, that's exactly how it was supposed to be taken, because it's the beginning of her arc.
Mm-hmm. See, but if that was the case, I think that would be interesting for her character. I don't agree that was the intention of the scene. Because
then why did it show? So it was just written, and they forgot they wrote that scene, so that whenever later on she did Hulk out and go nuts in public.
Well, when you say Hulk out, so let's compare. You're talking about an episode, was it 9? I forget, where she like punches
8,
the TV screen. That's what you're talking about, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, scared everybody out of the thing.
Right. So I think there's a substantial difference between she gets angry because someone's gonna post a revenge porn video of her, and she punches the TV screen and kind of loses control for a couple, seconds or a minute. And you compare that to the Hulk, who before he was, merged with Bruce Banner, he was just literally couldn't really even talk or barely talk, would attack friend and foe, was completely blinded by rage, and was just this rage monster. To me, I mean, these are two completely different things.
Well, they are, but for other reasons. Because for one thing, she didn't have nearly the gamma dose that he did. I mean, and maybe I don't know I think it mentions this kind of offhand, but I'm a old school comics fan, so it comes off clear to me. He got blasted with a huge dose of gamma, and she got a little bit of blood. Right. Another thing is that the trauma thing you mentioned about everything he'd been through. It's so I've got some experience in trauma recovery, trauma counseling.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird when people try to measure trauma. It's really bizarre to me, because two people can have the exact same thing happen, and one of them take it one way and the other take it the other, and it can be much more debilitating for one or the other. So it's it was weird to me when people saying that just because he'd had certain things happen or whatever, that he was just inherently going to have more I don't know. It's just a bunch of weird claims that weren't made in the text.
That was her claim, though, in the scene. That was literally her claim. That the trauma of being a woman granted her control.
But again, we're talking about the beginning of her arc. She's not going to get everything
not the
right.
trauma. It's not the trauma. It was the fact that she had to deal. She's had to deal with repressing, certain. And you talk to women, man. I've talked to several of them, and they said, yeah, that's similar to. They've been sexually harassed a lot, and you know what I mean. It is something that you
look. I have a question.
You have to kind of.
I have a question for you. So, a clear way to see that it's political is that she's espousing a belief. She's espousing a belief that the world is a certain way and treats women a certain way. If the scene played out where she said, listen, I'm used to dealing with anger because I'm a Christian, and Christians always face massive amount of anger and hatred in society. You would obviously say that's a political statement, right?
No.
Well, why are we equating a way a person is born to a belief a person chooses?
Right. Well, and also, I just don't know why, we're this default mode of political bad, as if politics didn't exist.
That's a completely different. That's a completely different argument. Yeah.
Right. We weren't saying we hadn't got to the point of whether political messaging in TV shows was good or bad. It was just, I said originally that kind of got us on the sidetrack was when people said She-Hulk was woke, they were talking about what they perceived as politics that they disagree with ingrained in the show.
As the same way as, if somebody forced, Christianity into the show, the Hulk, you would have a bunch of people online going, oh my God, the Christians are trying to convert people. The Christians are trying to
but I personally would be this has nothing to do with anything in the comics that has come before, and I don't like this because of that. Whereas the show pretty much nailed it. It's one of the most accurate adaptations in the MCU.
Maybe because the politics are kind of invisible to you in the same way that
they're not invisible. I mean, not in the way. I just think that they're not invisible. I see what you are describing as politics, and I just see it as something. It's a different perspective that's not historically been front and center in popular media, and that's really the distinction that's being called political, in my view, and somehow that's a bad thing.
I think WandaVision is a good example of people seeing wokeness in it, because they would look at the show and they'd say, okay, you have a show where basically the male characters who are more stereotypically masculine are portrayed as evil. You know, you have the evil masculine military general guy, even though he's technically doing the right thing. He's trying to stop, you know, Wanda, who's basically being completely evil. And then the men that are considered more good are classically, I hate to use these terms, but are more stereotypically, you know, passive or female in terms of kind of their characteristics. And the way that the show basically coddled Wanda, and they even had like a character, I forget her name, it was the Captain Marvel character's daughter, you know, enter in the show and basically make excuses for the fact that Wanda is, you know, basically being a horrible villain, mind controlling, you know, all these people and inflicting horrible pain on them. And when this is called out by the show gives this excuse in the dialogue of like, well, you don't know how much Wanda has lost, you know, as an excuse. And it seems like there's like just this weird attitude towards, you know, gender roles in some of the MCU properties that I think people are picking up on.
I would kind of disagree with a lot of that read.
That's a weird read of WandaVision. I've actually never heard that read before, so it's taking me a moment.
I kind of got into it with somebody about it, but like the idea that, you know, no, I don't think that the show excuses what she's done. The show, and very clearly, when you follow up with Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, that was just the beginning of this arc where she's going, you know, she's losing it. She lost it, dude. Like, she is the villain in Doctor Strange. That was just kind of
I'm not saying that, obviously, but it's a different writer, different director.
But I mean, it was the plan.
WandaVision was pretty much set up to be like her villain origin story, almost.
Right, and also, you know, it's like to say it's evil. You know, if you want to call it that, that's a way to judge it.
Well, I know you don't like the word evil, but immoral, you know, whatever word you want.
It's definitely immoral. Definitely immoral. Definitely fucked up. I don't think the show at all or anybody is excusing that she mind controlled a bunch of people and stuff like that. I think what it was doing was approaching it with a sense of empathy for her mental state, which is different than if she was literally evil, and deciding I'm gonna fucking do this evil shit. You know what I mean? Like there wasn't like a villainous intent. It was, she didn't fully understand what she was doing, and then once she did, she was just kind of so lost in it. And like I think that's actually a reflection of how sometimes people with mental health issues are treated in the real world. I think that's more what it was commenting on than any kind of gender thing. And also Vision, you know, he was kind of just moping around a lot when he was in the show, but at the end he had a badass fight with the other Vision. So I don't agree that he was just like not doing anything manly or whatever, but he's a robot, so maybe it shouldn't apply. As I've said before, how is it objective if we disagree?
True. Watch their head explode.
I mean, seriously, are you saying that people who disagree with what you claim to be an objective take on a movie, are they insane? Are they below intelligence level that's worth considering? What is it? Can you explain to me what about those people?
You just don't understand good writing.
Did they understand good writing? Because what it seems to me, when it comes to those types, and you know who we're talking about, these YouTubers who try to use objectivity as their framework, it seems to me like they're post hoc rationalizing, you know, they're basically their emotional and instinctive reactions to something. Didn't like Last Jedi because maybe did something that they didn't think Star Wars should do. Okay, fine. But then in hindsight, then they have to make 4-5 hour, you know, videos, streams, talk, like basically just figuring out ways to justify this.